Hey guys, good morning. Like I said, the schedule, what schedule, is going to be messed up for a few days. This is probably gonna be second and third day. So on the third day we should probably be on a decent schedule, which means we're gonna be starting a new campaign on that time. Probably just gonna have a short stream here. Same like yesterday, few hours in the night. And I'm probably gonna just chill with the rest of the day. Resetting time. We can only start a new campaign 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning, that's like unethical really. Probably after like noon, usually at lowest or around noon I will start a new campaign. But like that's like the at least least decent of the options, of the worst options. We got finished Broken Axe, long campaign victory, long, not short, on turn 57. We got this Clan Skryre Resident Sleeper campaign in progress, which, you know, could have been finished already 3 times over. And what can you expect this week? This week you can expect turn limited honey camera campaign. We'll keep the turns only to shackle options, no donations for turns. So 5 turns of Camler, you guys can lower it or increase it in with shackles. Other than that, it's gonna be one of the high elves for a no magic and no range attacks campaign. Not as simple as that, but we'll get in details about that. But now I guess we're just gonna go Resident Sleeper Clan Skryre a bit. I was thinking, you know, to start Nakai, but it feels like unethical to start the campaign at 3 in the morning, even if you woke up 2 hours ago. Yeah. I did push my schedule, I mean sleep schedule almost 6 hours ahead. I'll try again today, and tomorrow it'll probably be fixed. I'm not really feel like doing a regular stream while my sleep is all over the place. Especially in the late hours, well, most people are also sleeping and just lurking. No, Capricornus, no. I decided I don't like this option really, because people can add turns and then people can remove turns for dollars, and then people with the shackles, you know, they have limited options. So I don't like that. I would just keep the turn limit campaigns to channel points. And if we make it for donations, it'll be strict to donations, like that Warriors of Chaos campaign. So strictly channel points for that one. Oh, not new campaign. Let's fix the interface. It's actually fixed. And when I'm waking up after midnight, I'm not really feel like for regular streams. More feel like watching TV shows and playing loot games. So, and you know, 20-hour streams are out of the question. That's literally impossible right now. Let's save energy and mental energy primarily for Warhammer 3. I could do a 20-hour stream maybe if I was doing I don't know, Pet of Exile or Diablo type games, Diablo 2 or World of Warcraft, but never really Total War. I did it a couple of times and it was like, took me like 2 days to recover. You can do a 20 turns Grom campaign because you need special units for the victory, which would require an exploit to get a Grom to a certain rank. And this exploit would require a certain setup. So you cannot do a 20 turns victory without exploit Zalost. Because you have no access to the units to finish the campaign. Okay, this is our kind of like chill campaign, managing undercities. We still have to do one more thing in this campaign before I'm satisfied with it. There's no real goals in this campaign except just building undercities. One thing I'm missing here to be satisfied, you know, for a good jibber jabber later, is to see 2 cases of Vermintide. Regular and at least 4 to 5 Vermintides at once. I am familiar with some of the Undercity bugs through here, but this sounds like it's a new one. What happens? Been on keto diet now 10 days, and I finally got my batteries for this scale. How do you say weight scale? Scales? I don't know how you say it in English. You know, for this, I guess it's a scale. Like lost over 10 pounds in 10 days, and I was eating when I was not even hungry. This shit is working. It's most likely just water weight right now, right? Not much fat. Grow would not be happy, yeah. You call it your enemy. Nico Avocado. Yeah, Nico Avocado got quite infamous in the recent years. I do watch some of his videos from time to time, but lately it's next to unwatchable, I have to say. Hope he gets his shit together.
Ready, steady, do! Count of command.
Perfectly balanced army with just a perfectly balanced amount of all kinds of unethical weapons. You think I need more range units? Yeah. This is usually actually more than even you know, like extreme version, because you know this is the second most extreme ranged weapon army of this game. I think the most extreme one that still is super overpowered would be just 3 characters. Ideally with Plague Gracier. So you can add 1 more range unit here. 17 is probably the most extreme example, or you still have a super overpowered army which can handle nearly everything. I go with 16. I used to use more characters, but if you are keeping on in the rotation and just think about the cooldowns, it's a waste. It's better if you're, you know, like just go with it. Like, you know, you don't have to even keep into account cooldowns. Other words, if you got 3, it's kind of like lazy. But these 3 are 3, so this is, you know, it's just a lord, so it can support lazy strategy and tactics. While with 2 you have to do it perfectly in some of the battles. Warpstone Scroll, I haven't used that one in a long time. Yeah, ever since they released Oxyotl, there have been some issues with the Undercity interface. Most of the time when you're not Skaven though, which is hilarious. sec. You guys notice how the Total War YouTube channel profile is still featuring Total War Troy? Second week into January. Honestly, I don't even remember what those guys are called that they released. Those two lords in the lore pack. I already forgotten. Who can even tell me their names? I think one of them had a name like the guy from the Scorpion King, and the other one was Asu something. So forgettable. Jim and Lewis. You know, it's 2022 product, needs some variety and representation, even if barely fits or it's questionable. That's why the Roman period games in even the Middle Ages will never be America friendly. Meaning less money. There's a lot of dwarves in this settlement, but we got mortars. There's one artillery unit here. When you put pressure on the artillery crew, they usually drop the artillery piece, and the AI is not instructed to take control of the artillery again. So basically, what happens? They, you know, they've been engaged. Now the artillery crew is no longer be able to take control of the artillery pieces. Unless there is a spaghetti code enemy unit moving around the artillery pieces, and it will cause this unit to rubber band back onto the artillery, but not take it back even then.
It shall be done. Move, move. We'll die.
What's that? Grombrindle? Why are you taking so much damage from this poop? Got some rights to take the shots at Glaciers, you know, and they can stay healthy. Let's see if the dwarf AI is instructed to do that. So just greenskin poop towers. You can send the mortars closer, they don't really have optimal range here. It's a Tain and they got shot. So what do we have here? Assign the mortars to targets. It's usually a waste if two mortars are firing the same unit, because of how the damage effect works. We'll drop their resistance. Maybe more clan raids to eat the shots, so save some health. Should be seen here. So the toughest target here is Gromdel. But we could cause the army losses. But we still need to capture the city. This Gromdal is unbreakable. He wasn't always unbreakable. Somebody decided down the road that the Gromdal should have unbreakable, which makes him quite extreme. Serious AI power. So this is a unit of infantry here, just long with great weapons, one of the higher quality infantry in the game. And we are just assigned a mortar shot here. This is a single mortar shot, one. On a 25 magic resistance unit. This is magic damage. That is more guaranteed damage than the actual regular mortars. Any case scenario. That mortar actually is a direct hit with all the projectiles, which is unlikely. The damage is some of the highest in the game on the infantry. They have 25% resistance, keep that in mind. But they kind of taken one shot here, right? One shot. They were nearly full health. Look at what happened to the unit. The unit has taken almost 4,000 damage. I think it was on one shot. Maybe it was on a follow-up. 4 casualties, nearly 4,000 damage. The only reason they haven't died so much because they have really high health and they have resistance. So 86 health with 25 resistance. That's quite a sturdy infantry. Not many infantry in the game can survive that shit. They got hit again, so 2 mortar shots. Okay, 2 mortar shots. Yeah, one will be extreme for that. That damage over time is not that good. At least the AI is somewhat instructed to avoid this area here. Somewhat, you know, not completely, but somewhat.
Counselor's command. Hasten, hurry! Rattling gun. Poisoned with mortar. Play claw catapult. Get to the limb for the Valentine. We move.
Well, we have to grind Gromdal. I guess we had some Stone Vermin, Clown Raids, Plague Monks. Let's start grinding him. We'll also just try to capture the city instead. We'll also try to get him in a range position, but we have to get some other units inside. It's a little bit overkill, so if I use the ammo too much, I'll fire at will on these mortars, but it doesn't really matter. So we'll use the Dreaded 13th. I'll use halberds instead of wars. It'll be a little bit better. This causes a big explosion, which actually is a very good ability to use in a situation like this with 2 infantry units. What do we have here that makes this unit better? Give him defense. The Warlock could actually give a very strong damage buff, but you know, we're dealing with... Actually, it's the only thing I haven't taken here, I guess. Never mind right now. Some Plague Monks. Gromdal is kind of extreme to these units, unless these units are like proper buffed and shit. Some of these shooters inside. We'll keep this guy busy here. We can route them with the healing. 3 healing potions activated. Just logging them here. Giselle's are better than Rattling Gun. Rattling Gun is usually just the last resort in this type of army. If you would not use an army like this, a Rattling Gun might give you more value. But the skimmies are not really fit to fight like that. You could make them fight like that though. There are different units. But for this type of army, Giselle is better than Rattling Gun. You don't need more than 1 or 2 Rattling Guns. That are the last resort when the enemy gets close. It's gonna be easier to capture the city than fight off Gromdel. There's one dwarf in Mangumba that don't wanna die. Even if we had an assassin or a fucking warlord or some shit, this guy would have still been real hard to kill in melee. This Cameron literally don't have any melee tools to fight shit like this. This is in the extremes. Quick could do it. Sneech could do it. That's about it. I think Trot would struggle. Quick would kill him, no problem. As one of the best infantry killers in the game. Especially if it's dueling. ILFG isn't so bad. It's not so bad, but this is Gromdel. Can compare that shit to it. Only compare Quick and Snitch. When you're dealing with the extremes, like you know, like Gromdel, you know, best thing is to ignore or just shoot it. You would have to create the extreme of your own, but our extreme is range, not melee. Thresh has no damage. I'm mentioning this is extreme, guys. Extreme. You have to understand what this means. This is one of the extremes in the game. Don't fuck with the extremes if you're not geared up with it, right? We can shoot him down with range, but it will still require some work. It's just faster to capture the city. We'll have suppression fire here. You poison. Look at this helmet, it's like a fucking boss. It's basically Dwarf Legion Lords. Fucking extreme. He's gonna get close. Stay back, Dumbledore! You lost! The other one actually did something more. The kid with a nuke will one-shot him. Yeah. Yoo-hoo! Echoes.
The Under Empire.
7200 battle loot. This is War the City of Capture, we get tier 5. Secure the repigs. Even kept 2 buildings, huh? Even kept 2 buildings. This is not even worth waiting really. How much does this one cost? 7,000. Allows a lot of upkeep for the catapults, cannons, and the machines. This is far from the dwarf priced in mine, but it's still good. I don't know why they assigned 300 income. That makes no sense. There should have been at least 500 in this one. This is some terrible balancing and without checking what's here. Now somebody who assigned 300 income does not understand that this is a 2-region province. First, and these buildings also do require 3 upgrades as well. Remind me again how much dwarves get from this building. 1500. $1,500. 300 makes no sense for this building. Should be 500. That is a really arbitrary number assigned here. Somebody who thought they know how to balance, but they know shit. For example, look at this. Gold smelter 600. That's actually a good amount assigned here. It makes perfect sense, considering it's Skaven. But 300 on this one. Hopefully that guy's no longer works at creative assembly. Might have been in the multiplayer department.
Harness the power. I order Skryre, move. Ashen assassin.
So Midland was the first shield here. They seem to be spreading out. I think they're gonna disperse a little bit here.
Move tail.
Some weird bug going on with Chaos. Guy that did Tomb King Sports is probably the same guy who did the Bryson Mine for the Skaven. Completely fucking clueless. Something happening in Wars of Chaos is bugged here. I wasn't really paying attention. We had nearly 4 weeks, maybe a month break from this campaign. So I don't remember if the Rise of Chaos got destroyed. Somebody can do me a favor and go check out the early VODs of this campaign and see if the Rise of Chaos got destroyed. Because it affects the Chaos Invasion in a way. In a kind of fucked up way. So Archaon is not leading their faction and is considered dead. Shit, fuck, makes no sense. And some guy, Baradon, some poor Chaos Lord, is barely any better than General of the Empire, is leading the Chaos right now. Now Marconos, he is in the field, but he's dead. That's why, you know, we need to check this. He's moving around here. His horde is untouchable in so far. I guarantee you, nobody had a chance to deal anything with the chaos here. They're just moving in like not like a glass train. This is like a steel train right now. This is a steel train coming down under on all these factions. Archaon is around here, but it's bugged.
Sneak, Skryre. Tempt me not.
When you look at the units, you can clearly see they have the Archaon's buff. This unit has 600 weapon strength. That's a lot. And you can see the weapon strength of this unit is currently 763. Archaon gives these units more damage based on their experience, which is a crazy buff for melee. The Archaon is still works for their faction. Imagine, you know, when they patched Archaon, they didn't apply this buff to the Wars of Chaos. That would have been so bad, you know. Sometimes, you know, expect the worst, you know. What we've been doing with the Chaos over the years, expect the worst, but at least they've done one good job with this. Okay, Clonation kinda was raising and occupying, so the military is a little bit behind. And there's Ungrim coming down here. So Karazakarak is pretty much the only thing right now that is slowing down our military ally clan Ashen. So we are targeting them and their super alliance.
Alariel's champion.
Yeten has an alliance as well, but not with Karazakarak. Yeten feels like untouchable right now. Unless we attack them, they seem like untouchable. Comes to war with them, it's just gonna be lots of quality armies unless you invade Ultron.
Ready.
We got 24 settlements, but we also got 78 undercities. I think I checked this turn for this. Yeah, I did. Let's investigate some of these clonation armies. This is a rank 18 warlord, nearly immortal. Some randomly, decent items. We got 2 warp grinders, 3 ancient triads, clandonauts with shields, clandonauts spears with shields, regular spears, 2 sword clandonauts, 4 Skaven slaves. I mean, when you have numbers, an army like this is fine. If you have like 3 armies and this is how they look like, that's trash. But if you have 10 plus armies, that's fine.
Secret Slayer.
It's a rank 12 Master Assassin. 2 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I wonder how many of the, newish players or players who are not really experienced with the game or in Skaven in particular, they see an army like this, especially when they have to fight them, and they are a little bit worried. And worried in a way, because, they see so many different units here, and they don't really understand what these units are or what they do. If you're in one of those players in a situation like this, stop auto-resolving bells and pay attention. That's all I can tell you. Or play some Skaven and do the formatting as well. Yoo-hoo! Hey there, bro.
I must eat, feed.
This one is a little bit more straightforward army. This guy even have decent items as well, rank 37. Clan Nation have 3 legendary lords. Confederated Clan Morse and Clan Molder. This is a pretty cool portrait. I want portraits in the game to be of this quality. See this shit? I don't need to revisit portraits like Empire Captain, General of the Empire, Vampires, Runesmiths, Goblin Great Shamans, and somewhat of this quality here. This is like a nice quality portrait. It's like I wish like every hero had like 5-6 portraits like this that are not just different angles and perspective, If it's just from frontward or the side, it should have like a lot more detail. This is like well, I would say a high quality portrait here. Just a little bit weird when you click on this guy. Why does he have this white thing on him? Does someone knows why the Pack Masters have this white thing on them? White on the Skaven? That makes no sense. There's supposed to be like a sneaky creatures hiding in the shadows. Striking from the shadows, underground. Why does this guy have white? Why would Skaven use white? Is this like a special thing with the Pack Master, like with the Master Engineer? I mean, for Dwarf it fits, Some kind of, when it comes to white, it's some kind of like ornamental part of the gear, or not even a military outfit. Why does this guy have white? I don't know the lore about the Pack Masters, but this white looks like it's almost like a texture glitch and a bug that doesn't really fit in this character. Skaven with white, and then you combine it with like metal colors, green, darker colors, brown, black. Just don't fit white on these guys. Maybe a Packmaster thing.
Need more trophies, yes, yes. Stink of command.
Warlord's portraits are barely acceptable, really.
Lord of the
Chieftains have horrible portraits, horrible unit cards. Look at this shit. This is some lazy fucking shit, man. This is like some half-assed mod, really, and not a premium content here. Chieftains have really terrible unit cards. It's horrible. This background and this lack of detail, it's appalling. Like chieftain, and then you have a spec master. This is like should be like a quality in the card standard. So not different angles like and perspective. It just should be like 5-6 for each class.
By the comet. This is my land.
Rest of their armies here.
Address me as Sir Lord.
So most of the south is kind of abandoned here. It's like there's nobody here on this side. I do have armies close to where it matters.
Praise Sigma.
Tier 5 city, Tier 5 city and no wall building.
The doom is coming.
It's cool to see Warlord Fisk immortal. If I'm not mistaken, Warlord Fisk is the faction leader of Clan Ferric. What's the thing? The stone vermin can become chieftains, and the chieftains can become warlords, right? Some of these warlords, they look quite bad compared to like a stone vermin. If we look like a stone vermin, they've taken a beating.
Ready to kill. All things fear us.
What?
Break water. Then silent killer. Yes.
What do you guys think about this stage of the campaign where we at? This is like a I guess like a late game stage where basically just management left. There are no challenges left, and unless you're just trying something or you know, sciencing something, there's like nothing to do. I think for like I guess from regular player perspective. Other than, I guess, getting a victory screen and moving on, right? Which we haven't really been going for that. The fact we're managing 80 undercities nearly, it's makes it even more management oriented campaign than what a regular late game campaign would be. FJK says, for me, once the challenge is gone, I don't play. With how dumb most victory conditions are, I won't bother going for them. So what does this mean, FJK? How long are usually your campaigns in turns? Like, are they more than most of them finish like in early game? Only there was a menu to list all the cities. I think there should be an interface, like something like this, where it lists all the undercities and gives you a little more features. The undercity system is good base, but some things can be improved. I mean, we are a superpower, and we are an ally to a superpower, and literally the factions that coexist with us, the only reason they do is because we allow them. The only faction left in the world that can do anything are Aetane, which, you know, intimidated, and the Wars of Chaos, which, you know, that reward everybody. So this is like beyond critical mass. So unless you're caring about victory condition to get a short campaign victory, which you could have gotten like 7 turns ago, there's literally nothing to do in this campaign. I wanna try a few things though. Before this campaign is over, I want to try a regular Vermintide, a multi-Vermintide, and 2 Doomsphere going up at once. But so far, the Undercity has been working just fine. No issues. Looks like on the scaling side of things, since that bug got fixed with the Doomspheres, there's really no issues here. It's just requires some polish and you know, more features with it. Like interface would be nice. A third building for being for discoverability would be nice, like a tier 4. I mean, not tier 4. Just this is pricing, you know. These buildings literally doesn't matter if they are tier 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5. It's about pricing. Building that's on a lower tier here will be cheaper. On a higher tier, going to be expensive. So I'm saying, basically, a third building here that is going to be like here, up here, and make it cost like 6,000, or maybe put it on tier 5 if it's 6,000. I think I would like to see a third building here that's for discoverability. Probably make it more expensive, and if a city gets raised above, they should keep it. The other city should stay, and it should give like I don't know, maybe another -40 discoverability. It should be a combination of these things, if not just extreme minus discoverability at a high price of that building. I'd also like to see, if that building gets added, more slots for the undercities. The undercities then should have 6 slots, since there's another discoverability building available. And, of course, an interface to manage undercities. So you don't have to, you know, look for these icons where the undercities are, and then list through all the buildings that have been built and upgraded. If you're going to use the Under Empire, more than just the basic stuff, you're going to need this. If you're going to use the extremes, it gets tedious. So an interface, a button here to manage the undercities should exist. Should list the provinces, the undercities, if they have something to build, what's the discoverability, how much food they cost, how much money they cost, take, stuff like this. It's not rocket science. But like I said, the base is good. Just a few more things could be vastly better if they just a couple more improvements to it. Ultimately, the final thing, make the undercities part of the objectives of the campaign. Make the undercities count for victory objectives, victory settlements, and any province requirements. Because there's little point managing a big under empire, because it's not tied to victory objectives in any way whatsoever than just draining your resources, when you can use those resources to expand faster, complete campaign faster. Some of the factions could have more options with the undercities, expanded options, cheaper options. Undercity buildings should be buildings. And some of these technologies could affect the undercities in a way as well if this seems to get expanded. So if the scheme ever get reworked, I would like to see this with the undercities.
Assassinating.
This campaign has been this is an old campaign. It's campaign 2 for this one. Campaign 2. We don't currently. We're waiting to start a new campaign. My sleep schedule is all over the place, so I'm waiting a little bit more decent time after like 11 a.m. afternoon, and then we'll start unlimited Kemmler, and then we have High Elves after that. High Elves is kind of like a challenge campaign, while the Kemmler is up to you guys.
Many kills today. Night Runner. Chief Warlock, Icket Claw.
We got 3 armies, and I don't feel like we need more. I have a superpower ally. Was it the Forbidden Workshop?
Good flay to die.
This is character and unit stuff, and these units are not present in garrisons. I guess in emergency it helps with the Regiment Renown.
The wheels of death keep turning. Doom comes from the sky.
There's nothing else. Looks like the citizen lost are getting raised. It was some Eaton military, and then they were just moving around. Used to be broken with the levels on bikes. The sheer amount of warp lighting was insane. I don't think anything related to warp lighting is broken, Dr. Vector. If any flavor ever existed, probably was it. The fact that they think you need warp lighting in a scamming campaign is a fucking joke. Scamming spells of plague are not only superior, but can deal with anything. Warp lighting can never really be broken. Unless the AI uses it every 3 seconds.
I have only one good ear, yes, but I still hear you.
This at this stage is pretty much just seeing what the AI is doing. The cities are constantly getting raised and occupied. The game doesn't even have you statistics how many undercities you currently have. That'll be another thing as well that needs to be revisited. Some of these stats are just missing stuff, like income 1 is missing a important part of the economy, the post-battle loot. Which makes more money than trade for most factions. Raiding is listed, fucking joke. But post-battle loot is not listed, which is bizarre. I've got 7,000 from that battle of Mangum, but and nowhere to track this unless you deduct it from the total. Then you get diplomacy, post-battle loot, and ransom, which are all important to show. Diplomacy a little bit less, but the other two are important part of the economy. You ever done a campaign where you just count your post-battle loot and ransom? You can see how much it actually makes in 100 turns. It just makes a difference between a campaign that might have mid-game or might not have mid-game. Makes a difference between struggle or just clicking all the buildings. And makes a difference if you have something in treasury or nothing of the building.
Targets. Where are my schematics? Call me Death Master. Sneak, scurry. Ashen contract approved. Scamper, scurry. Ashen contract approved.
There's another thing, Bretonnian AI should never recruit peasant mobs.
Seek target.
Don't like the vampire AI should never recruit zombies. Just cripples them.
More warpstone. Now!
Oh, what are we doing in this area? Tiggin's errantry.
Lord of Bretonia.
We did a lot for Satosa, but they are such a... It's like, I don't know, man. It feels like, they're driving a car, which it's not even allowed to be pass the technical tests on the streets. So it's some kind of, legal shit. Barely two wheels on it. Third one is in a really bad shape. And every time they tank it, it starts leaking fuel. And they cannot really afford to tank it all the time. I think that perfectly explains the vampire cost in this game. Luther Harkon gets a little bit better car, but the other three, it's broken. It's always been something with this faction ever since the release. They used to be even worse than this shit.
Skavenbright's greatest, best inventor.
Yeah, what's going on here? Thor Anrok. Oh yeah, tier 4 will get gold. Is there a bunch of some cities? No. No, they've never really given us the proper interface for the under cities. What's worse, the buildings in the undercities are considered buildings, but they're not really considered buildings for the building stuff. So you gotta go to the map and follow these icons. If you're building a lot of undercities, managing a lot of them, you have to go with events and construction report. We were talking about this earlier, that there should be an interface to manage this, but there's not. It's a good, it's already good enough. Just missing a couple things. So basically, what I do when I have 78 undercities, I have to go through the events. I have to go through the events. No, it's impossible to remember otherwise. So you have to remember some things yourself, and then go through the events. The game doesn't have tools to give you the convenient system. The amount of money we put into the undercity is probably in the millions at this stage. Hesitation. So why is this not expanding? I feel like there is some little bit issue with this, considering how many excavation buildings we have. Psst. We got so many of this. We got over 20 of this, and it's 10% chance to spread. Two things I've noticed: there's either an issue with adjacency, as in this thing cannot spread to adjacent region because of, you know, I don't know, bad code or some shit. Second, for some reason it's not allowed to, because this might be limited to only a one or a few per turn. So there is some little bit weird stuff going on, some hidden bugs or just oversights. But guys, think about it. We have 78 undercities. We got over 20 of these buildings. When was the last time we expanded more than one city? It's either due to bugged adjacency or something with events. Something with events. I swear I saw undercity established message once 3 times. But as in all Total Wars, it feels like these events just start bugging over time, especially the longer campaign gets. It's also a thing in all Total Wars because there was a limit to these events. There's no reason they would bug in Warhammer. But spaghetti code from all Total Wars, who knows?
Skryre! Murder, death, kill.
Essa qua era pur Sekiro, un trick è. Might have been a fresh tier 3.
Tinkerer needs trinkets. My brain is never outsmarted. See?
I guess in that event now, it said what Undercity expanded, right? It's the same one as this one, but this one says Undercity established. It could be one Undercity per turn, yeah. we don't really, are not intimidated here, so we don't need vision here.
More warpstone. That needs new, better rulers. Grace here.
More assassins, huh? Get the economy up here. We have option for one thing here. We have enough assassins. Get the 2 assassins with this tier 4 building. One more engineer if we need engineers. Being annoying is also nice for corruption. Plague Abbey as well. Not cheap to be annoying though.
Let the bell scream, scream.
I think Ungrim might destroy both of these armies in the south. Gonna be RNG, of course. This army has to stay here for 3 turns. Otherwise the city might flip because too much fog of war.
Red mage. Watches.
I guess it's actually good to keep them ambushed because they might on their way to attack the settlement.
Where's my toolkit?
Next under the game is spread in 2 turns. Probably we don't even need to hear anymore. This adjacency feels so weird. Let's go north.
Silent assassin. Rocketator. I say move.
This is not for the average soldier.
This is Archaon's original army. And you know how I know this? His original army is unbreakable.
All things.
He's unbreakable in the original army. Some kind of special rule for the Archaon. He should be unbreakable by default. I don't know why he's not unbreakable for default. I guess it might be multiplayer or whatever. But this is his original army, so he's never been defeated. Meanwhile, Chaos Invasion says that Archaon is dead. And when we look at the diplomacy, it's still Rise of Chaos. They got bugged. I guess spaghetti code. So many iterations of Chaos Invasion in the last 6 years that it's bound to, you know, go bad sometimes. This is not even that big deal, but it looks silly.
Ready to kill.
The gods deny such.
His army still gets mega damage.
Many kills to come. Engineer. Yes.
This is the second time Nagard is getting raised this campaign. So imbalanced in this part of the world.
Send in the doom wheels.
But Problem is, somebody mentioned this recently that I noted, that I read about. There's a mega chaos invasion coming here, and there's nobody to challenge them because these guys are usually going to be busy somewhere here. And even if they have 2 armies in this area, they're not going to stand against 20 armies. They're just going to flee. They're going to let all the cities get destroyed. One thing that could, you know, that would been okay to put here, some kind of, you know, walls. When you look at this side here, what do you see here? You see a kind of part of a wall and a tower. Wall and a tower. Wall and a tower. Wall and a tower. What's this supposed to do? This is look at this one is even bugged here. I guess we don't see the vision to scratch that. Why not these walls connected? Why is there not a fort city here guarding against chaos? Why would these lands be open to the chaotic wastelands? Literally, they don't have any system to protect this. Meanwhile, the High Elves and the Empire has some of these forts going on around. But the right thing to do here when they added this massive invasion here, to I guess to make Har Kaldra and Ashrak fort cities. Fort cities that close this area. The only way you can get to the other side if you attack it. They have naturally strong garrisons. But even then, you know, it would be have to be something else, because the Chaos would just send 4 armies and destroy it in a single click. But slow them down maybe for 1 turn. I think that could have helped if 2 areas had massive walls and 1 area had a massive fortress. So they had to funnel to 1 area like they do in the Kislev area, for most part, and not spread to 3 areas, destroy the continent over twice as fast. How do you stop chaos? You need to defeat their legendary lords. So when a chaos invasion happens, you get this on the top, and it tells you, you know, that legendary lords Archaon, Kolak, and Sigvald. When all 3 are marked dead here, which they're not really dead, they cannot really die unless Snitch kills them. Unless Snitch kills the Archaon. So when all 3 are defeated, the chaos is over. All their armies will just disappear from the map. So when you wound a legendary lord, he'll be marked dead for a few turns. But they're not really dead, they're just wounded. This thing, what it says here, makes no sense. Could Aldnar kill them with his special heroes? They can kill them, you can wound them, yeah. Wound them. You cannot kill legendary lords unless it's a faction leader and you're a clan nation. Only clan nation can. So Archaon is currently wounded, he's not dead. If this was correct, but this is bugged. Archaon is just perfectly fine here. So this is just bugged interface here, shit. But to stop the Chaos Invasion, you just need to make sure all their 3 legendary lords are wounded at the same time. So we had to target 3 of them in a bunch of armies. You could snipe them or just, you know, patient when they get closer.
The next Death Master. Sneaky infiltrator.
Don't really put too much mind to chaos. I used to get a bit triggered by these things. Just don't put much mind to this. Just let it flow. Let it flow with the rest of the campaign. Don't focus on this like it's gonna be like the ending. Just let it flow. They're gonna get wrecked sooner or later. Do other things. Unless you're a faction that directly has to deal with chaos, like, I don't know, Clan Molder, the Empire even, Sylvania, Karzakarak 2, Nagarond, Argonet. You don't have to worry much about that shit.
Unseen killer.
Turn of chaos, yes. When you're starting a new campaign, there's an option to turn them off.
Mighty clan Eshin.
And they won't be in the game then. When you're picking up difficulty, campaign difficulty, battle difficulty, unless you're chaos yourself, the third difficulty is chaos invasion. There's an option to turn it off.
Stealthy stealth. Lex tails, move.
Romdel must have defeated Vlad at some point, or he has this thing that gets him back. 15 campaign skills. 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1. Or is it 5, 3, and 2? Trade and Lightning Striker 1 each, and then he has 5 skills for 3 points each, right? He has 17 campaign skills if you pick everything. Recruitment costs, replenishment, true drinks. It's not 4, 12, and then 2. Any advice for beating Itza Skrulk is in Mortal Empires Gorok too strong yet? Gorok is tough early on. You could occupy this settlement tier 3 and rush the catapults. You could also unlock Plague Monks, like Plague Monks Catapults army. You can keep an eye when he's diminished here. The initial contact, especially as Unbreakable, is rough. But catapults and Plague Monks should work if you have enough time to get it. So rapid expand here tier 3 and get catapults. The first plague you get, send on Itza and take it on like last 2 turns of plague. You just need to get an early edge against his army. My last campaign I played Clan Pestilence. This was before they got slightly reworked. I allied Gorok because we had house rules, so we couldn't really get catapults. So I allied him and he went north to attack other guys, and then when everything was exposed here, I'd taken his lands.
Master engineer.
But yeah, it can be a little bit tough. There are options. Best way to take Itza is with Plague Attrition. I think Clan Pestilence should be more than okay these days, even against Gorok. This might look tough, you know. Zosaurus, if they have Unbreakable, are rough. Even catapults shooting them, even if you could take down the 60% of their health, the rest is still tough to do to finish off. So you might need like another unit to clear them. Like I think Plague Monks should work just fine. Plague Monks and Plague Catapults are cheap for Lord Skrulk, so it's a no-brainer to me. Plague Monk should be more than fine to clear damaged Saurus. Which they usually damaged from various, you know, stuff like artillery shots, magic, some attrition. I want to see what why the Bjornlings were strong. It looks like they did 2 battles and they lost half their military. And Undercity in Norska feel like such a waste. This is the worst part of the map, honestly. Norska.
Warlock on water! Clan Ashen assassin in. Ah, big paddle.
I just wanted to see what kind of military they had. They made them top 5.
Thief in the
It seems that it's already melting.
thief in the night. And good something to kill in. Sneaking.
Gains
open
experience. So this guy here kind of makes sense to guard this, but there's a little bit buffer here. Just be parked here
Scary move.
in case these guys come forward. We might do get some assault garrison,
Mighty
assault units. I mean, Ultron is guarding the pyramid.
assassin.
It's kind of bored here. Nothing really happening.
I will not blight my soul.
I wonder where they're taking this.
Whether chivalrous or not, I
Might have been a
will
Doom
strike
Kingdom's attack.
you. Do you take me for a churl?
Doesn't have the second stealth scourge.
Silent killer, yes. You slow things and make them slower.
Hey, Grimmis. 47 months, you're still here? What the fuck you still doing here, man? Not even a red name. Watching Warhammer 2, of course. So guys, how many of you have stopped, if not uninstalled, Warhammer 2 by now? And you know, you just can't really get away from it. You really just totally burned out, can't really play it anymore because you played it for, if not 1,000+ hours. And you're just waiting for Warhammer 3, but like I said, you can't get away from it and you just have to keep watching like streams and videos and stuff. Nerf free, Steel Moon, Saintlack says never uninstall it. Grimmy says stopped a couple of months ago. Who here torturing myself still? Waiting for 3. There is no scheme from it. Hey Jenga, keep hoping they patch the game. Well, Jenga, the Warhammer 2 is complete. It's done. So at this stage, we are basically a Warhammer 3 waiting room. That should pretty much be the title of the stream. Warhammer 3 waiting room. EJK says, I still have it installed, but I haven't played in a few months. guilty. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm being careful towards the release. You know, if I feel like I'm, you know, just feeling a little bit burnout, I'll just do shorter streams. Well, the hype will start building up like crazy in, I would say, about 10 days or so. So brace yourselves, guys, brace yourself. You might be installing and playing Warhammer 2 before the end of the month. Because people are going to start playing the Warhammer 3 early access, so you'll be able to see more about it. You're going to get worked up, and you need to get it, you know, itch scratched. I've been watching some TV shows, playing some booba games, you know, chilling. Like, it's unideal when you get a messed up schedule. Like, just like can spend 12 hours in a zombie mode. I've been up yesterday for like 20 hours. Well, Fan Return, he's the only EA guy I can watch. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. A lot of people have been waiting for Warhammer 3. It's been too long. You've even forgotten about some of them. Warhammer 3 will attract a big crowd again. Probably expand the Twitch audience on Total War again. Remember when Warhammer 2 got released, it literally doubled my viewers in a matter of a month. The growth was like crazy until the release of Tomb Kings, then it started declining. There hasn't really been any growth or like massive spikes since Tomb Kings, and that's 4 years ago. So literally the Warhammer 2 did last a little bit too long since Warhammer 3 was planned. So towards the end, you know, you feel like it got a little bit too slow. Lack of proper patching also made it a little bit worse. I had over 1,000 hours on Warhammer, 1,000 on Warhammer release day. Yeah, I had over 1,000 euros a couple of times. So what do you guys think? Will we hit 2,000 viewers on the release day of Warhammer 3? 2,000 viewers, that's like, feel like it's the upper wall. When you do interesting campaigns, it's like they're interesting to watch, or people really like to watch them, like the Emperor Dwarves, High Elves. There's always usually higher amount of viewers and people throughout the day. One thing is having, you know, 1,000 viewers, another thing is having over, you know, 3, 4, 5,000 people, different people visit your stream a day. So my estimation is, you know, when we're doing these campaigns, we have like sometimes even over 3,000, you know, different people a day. So it's total possibility that the channel hits over 2,000 viewers in the initial Warhammer 2. But moderators hopefully are gonna be moderating. Imagine how many Pepegas are gonna be here on day one, which are not really familiar with how we do things. When I get when I go make my 10-minute break, 20-minute break, oh, the patience out the window. Are you Scottish? Thermal fatigue will get some of them, but you know, when it comes to a new strategy and new information, it's best to process this and hope the next day you remember at least half of it, and 3 months later, nearly half of it. 1/3 maybe, right? Processing new information is exciting, guys. You know, remember the patch notes days? checking out the new factions, skill trees, a whole new, you know, units, technologies, and everything. That's a lot of information to process. And of course, this is gonna be slow, and this should be thorough. You should not just, you know, click army, attack enemy, next turn on a fucking day one, first 10 minutes, without checking all the systems, all the information that's you know, in front of you. It's like, it's unimaginable, unimaginable. It's like, this is a difference between somebody, you know, in turn 20 of the campaign, and then somebody in turn 60 of the campaign, and, you know, haven't realized, you know, there is a volley fire technology. To this day, I do visit some of the small streamers, and I see some of them playing dwarves and, you know, the Empire. And when I open the technology tree, what are the words to use here? It's like my eyes crack and then start dying inside. But, you know, that's lack of experience, and, you know, the thing, if they know what to do. Campaign is flowing, so if it works for them, it works for them. But some of them, when they open the technology tree or the skill tree, it's like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I should, you know, do some Zinchi things, and, you know, instead of Pepe Love things. But I don't never comment on it. I just observe. That's why you need to absorb information and, you know, process it. You know, it's impossible to learn everything in the first go. Second go, you get a little bit there, like we did with Grom. I can guarantee you, third time we play Grom, it's going to be even fucking better. And I'm not the only person to just play this 3 times Grom in the first, like, 3 months. I don't work like 2 minutes. There's too many factions. People expect of me to play various factions and not just, you know, play Empire 5 times in, you know, 2 months. So this, you know, there's a little bit pressure regarding these things. You know, sometimes, you know, I have to play things that I don't really prefer, or I might not even enjoy that much. But I can, you know, I don't have to enjoy it. You know, as long as I'm content and satisfied with it, it's fine. Even if we're complaining nearly half the time on some things, doesn't mean, you know, we don't like the game. Some things, you know, sometimes people think that, you know, we're complaining, we don't like the game, we hate it, but we still do it, we're torturing ourselves, right? It's like, just name one thing you do in a life that lasts more than 5 minutes that you really fucking enjoy, and then you're happy. This doesn't exist. Undercities are making over 17,000. Or 5,500 trade. Passionate criticism, yeah. Some people get confused that, you know, we're just, you know, a hater, you know, and things, you know. But this is like, you know, that's how the internet has developed over the years, guys. You know, if you're criticizing some things, or you're not supporting the hype, and you're just a hater. You're either the fanboy or the hater. There's like no middle. Where is the middle disappeared? And, you know, the communities don't really want to have haters, and they don't want to have people complaining. I mean, look at this, our channel here. It's like, if somebody comes here causing trouble, we're gonna get rid of him. So it's, the bias builds up, and, you know, we need to have a, you know, kind of like a healthy environment. And then, you know, it might even, you know, like skew our point of view as well in a bit. But I feel like it's a difference between, you know, when it comes to popularity and when it comes to, you know, a game. Game can't just be popular. It just can't be. The popular is not enough. It's like, if something is way too popular, it's, you know, the shit will fall through the cracks. Like, you know, criticism and way to improve it on the areas that have to be improved. If shit is way too popular, they might just, you know, like, sure, it's popular enough, we got done, boys. Pack your shit, let's go make the next game. But like I said, guys, brace yourself. The hype is going to hit critical mass in probably like 10 days, if not sooner. 3 armies, nice. Skryre says, I took 3 weeks off work to play Warhammer 3 in Elden Ring. Wow.
My infernal armory interests you. Yes, yes.
3 weeks. You know, the Elden Ring probably gonna be a somewhat reliable game to, you know, expect to have such a break to do it for. You know, it's probably been play tested somewhat, but Warhammer 3, if you just had Warhammer 3 weeks, ooh, I don't know. Now people ask me, you know, what would it require for Warhammer 3 to let you keep playing Warhammer 2? You know, how bad the Warhammer 2 would need to be. And I told them, like, if the game would be crashing every 10 minutes, like if you have one of those new CPUs they haven't really tested in, maybe the first time we start Warhammer 3, instead of the Intel logo, we see the AMD logo. Goddamn, CE has changed ship. Quickly, everybody will show buy an AMD CPU. So, I've heard some of the better new CPUs are actually having problems with Warhammer 2 from the Intel. So, there might be a fuck up where the game could be unstable, like crashing every like 10-20 minutes. That's probably the worst case scenario. If the AI is, you know, in the shitter, or the game is having some kind of game-breaking bugs, we could get away with it. There's a lot of knowledge to absorb initially. But if it's a hardware unstable game, that would be probably the worst case scenario. The Chinese invasion difficult to do anything if you play as Norska. Maybe if you fight them. Well, even with some of the issues Warhammer 2 had, which was, I think, minimal, I was still really enjoyable now. We didn't even know about the battle difficulty bug until, you know, until much later. And it got fixed when it was found out. It's like, honestly, I haven't really noticed it that much myself until people have started saying it, and then I started noticing it a lot. But you know, I thought that the lizardmen units were just OP. It was only really noticeable with the lizardmen. That was the only way it was really noticeable. And I just accepted it that the lizardman was OP in melee. And I didn't have any other factors before Mortal Empires to investigate. When the Mortal Empires got released before the Tomb Kings, we played Isabella, and we went with a Swarm, and the bats were killing literally dwarves without dwarves even doing any damage to them. You know, you can do the bats, you can do wonders with the bats even right now, but it was a little bit too much, and then it was really noticeable when we played the Vampire Counts. But you can't really notice it because the lizardmen, you know, were just strong in melee. You accepted they were, you know, OP in melee, so it was hard to, you know, notice this thing. It was not until you know, Mortal Empires got released that you know, it started to be noticeable. They did fix it with Tomb Kings update, so it took them, you know, what, 5 months later. Well, we did use a flying army not that far ago with von Carstens, and you can see the bats do just fine. You know, some units are supposed to be used as part of the swarm, otherwise they're just gonna be a nuisance they're just gonna get rid of. But if you're swarming, the bats are excellent. No Vargas, but they have their use. Like, some units will get killed much faster if you use a unit of bats and a Vargeist instead of 2 Vargeists. Just because there's more combatants. Especially if the enemy is not trying to resist and they're trying to fight back. So they win here. They take barely taking any damage, all replenished.
I am warlord.
So another Undercity just won this turn. It might be limited to one per turn at this stage.
Scurry forward.
Why is this one not expanding? I guess because everything else is expanding. If we don't do the Vermintide right here, it's gonna be pointless. Could we get like another example of Vermintide instead?
Who wishes the grail?
It's strong enough to deal with the cities, but if there are armies in there at the same time, it's not gonna be good. This is some kind of limitation to the expansion. So we are expanding every direction. So basically, what does this mean? What does this mean if you can only get one a turn like this? This means do not expand on multiple continents at once. The Undercity system best to be ignored or just used in a via Scheme of Doom, get a Warlock Laboratory, and just get it on, like on a continent where you're not gonna expand, and don't really go over two mineshafts. Go multiple continents, mineshafts every direction. This is actually inefficient. It just turns into a management game that doesn't do anything for the campaign. It's like small area, a couple settlements for food, maybe a little bit expansion. The economy supports it without crippling expansion. I guess it's fine. Seems like we don't really want more than a few of these buildings if it's limited like this. But like I said, we're expanding everywhere, so it makes sense here. But in a regular campaign, Mineshaft is not a good building to build early everywhere. So if you let's say you play Clan Skryre and you decide you're gonna put a Warlock Laboratory in Hammery or the Vampire Coast, this area should not have more than 3 mineshafts, and that's it. Prioritize food and little income, and ignore this like it doesn't exist anymore. Another Warlock Laboratory could be used in the same way, but at that point it's probably a finished campaign. Seems like the mineshafts don't. There's some kind of limitation to them that the game doesn't mention. It feels so disconnected from the campaign, the Under Empire. Because, guys, before they added Undercities, right? These cities are already Under Empire, right? You see, this is the Barrow. There is no city here, right? There is no city here. The Barrow is already a part of Under Empire. It's an Undercity. But they added another, version of Undercity where it's another controlled region, but instead you're living under the enemy city. And it feels like so disconnected from the rest of the game, and it's feeling missing glue to connect with the rest of the game and stuff. And then you have a Skaven Undercity here, and under this Skaven Undercity there's another Undercity. It's like I said, feels disconnected from the Skaven really gameplay. Not part of the conditions and nothing really. And the fact the mineshafts are limited, so why would we even expand the Under Empire? We reach critical mass with economy, so we don't care about the costs anymore. But trust me, the undercities are super expensive. Even if you manage it well, it's not worth it. A couple of undercities with a first world laboratory to get a little bit extra food, that makes sense. But anything more than that, it's not worth it. Because it's not really glued well with the rest of the Skaven gameplay. We have all these mine shafts everywhere, and we're only getting like one city a turn. I swear I saw more than one city a turn a few times. That one could be in a bug. Maybe this one is a bug. Then there is the adjacency issue, it is questionable as well.
Nasty poison. Night runner.
So what is going on in Lastria here?
Tyrion.
Is fighting Itza. Itza will lose unless we intervene here. There's no way Itza at this stage can against the High Elves. Lizard have a really shit out resolve. So, okay, let's do the Doomsphere test. We will do the Doomsphere test here. Okay. We'll do Wolf's Anvil, the Awakening, Blood Swamps, and Lothern all at the same time. I mean, to be sure, we should include another city, right? Let's blow up Calador. So this is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Doomspheres on the same turn. Maybe we should put the second faction into the mix as well. Protecting against Doomsphere here, we need to send assassins. If they have the scheme building here, we cannot blow it up unless they send the heroes here. It would require 3 heroes. Probably 4 to be safe, because they might get wounded. Which means it's a really tough target to blow up. Okay, I think this is a good example here. This looks like busy. Okay, we'll blow up Castle Cargasson, Lothern, Wolf's Anvil, Torsetai, Awakening, and the Blood Swamps all at the same time. Stress test. This has to wait until everything is synced. Don't have to remove this yet. This will be 6 settlements from the 2 factions. And crippled a lot in a bit, yet I mean.
Scamper, scamper! To under Empire! Go, go! This die!
Why the chaos not moving this direction? Is the sea only ruins? Could be because of this, because they don't see the cities here, right? Or the other side, it's like some kind of like player is here. There's no reason for them to go here. But they're scaling here because of this.
Chosen. Warlock of Skaven Blast. Oh, yes, yes.
Can't land because the heroes are blocking us.
Curses.
Okay.
Skryre, forward.
I think not.
Ashen contract approved. Scorch.
So it looks like the ball is rolling here again. Gonna be hard to stop them.
I order. Skryre, move. Bah! Knife hungry. Ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy hoy.
Fine slay.
Let me clear this area here. They're gonna just get rid of Satos if we don't help.
Many kills today. Yes, unlock the gates.
But the target Dokkaras in this whole time is strange. Only care about this city.
Time to eat leaders.
Torka is fine, gives support here. Black Tower of Arken in Bel Aliad. And this is a lot of Patron architects. Honestly, the AI should not even use this this character. Or should not have more than one available. They're really nothing to do with them. It just looks silly. The AI even has access to that hero. Especially the Sentinels that never get any heroes, so with them it's kind of bugged. This is a lot of hero movements usually in an area like this. So double check here. Blowing out the blood swamps. The Awakening. Lothern. Walls. Anvil. Torsitai. That's all of Calador. And Castle Carcassonne. So we dismantle the infrastructure in 3 turns. And then in 15 turns, poof, 6 settlements deleted from the map. This army came from north. We win this. 3 iron breaks of this unit is like next to impossible. The Lord is extreme. 35 physical resistance. Jesus. I think this was like 1 turn before the wall. Like I said, the Grumpig is hard to hold. Regular dwarf army messes it up, no problem. Well, the Walled City would buy us at least a turn or 2. This is impossible. We got a really good nuke. They still have too much quality. The rank 9 units are units of shit. That quarter let us beat anything we have in melee. Like we got nuke, we got warp lightning, and we got poisoning globadiers. That's a lot of damage. They got 5 quarters to artillery pieces. 3 iron breakers feel like impossible. Oh my god. Guys. This guy has a veteran battle skill. Mom, get a camera. Look at this shit. 21 battle skills, so the AI needs to take 21 battle skills to get veteran battle skills. Yeah, this is like fucking impossible. This guy has picked all the battle skills. It's not every day you see AI with veteran battle skills. So auto resolve is not flashing over units. Look at that. It's clearly a bug.
Smell. Taste battle. Good, good.
You can hold Mount Goomba if it's tier 4 against even a proper dwarf army. Well, the Trader Clan Ashen looks like they lost the coastal settlement to Border Princess. Orderly got invited by somebody.
Make this quick fast,
Shit makes no sense. This is a spaghetti code, really.
what do you want from me?
There's a very good army approaching Scamblight. Orlo's been won by Tiggan's heir. That makes sense. Is it me or we got attacked by the Wood Elves? We did. Jesus. Not very our usual thing for them here. But this is an exception, since they've taken over the Oak of Ages and King's Glade. They kind of become Talson here. Army is no joke. Isn't one of my spies here?
I will not obey.
This guy has actually quite a strong army against the garrison. This is basically we got a rogue army that actually works. It's Pirates of Trontium. They work. This is an exception when you see a rogue army actually working.
Forbids this.
Man, makes you wonder why is this the case with them and not with the other guys. This is like a bugged army here and a bugged army here for like 100 turns. Or nearly 100 turns. Meanwhile, these guys, they work. So our armies are all around the place and nobody to guard the core territories. So now the Wood Elves are awoken here, they need a really proper arm to deal with them. We should send Shidweezer back. No longer needing these mountains. We'll go directly west and south. This place should be okay. This action is moving around as well.
Betrayal strong.
Let them do whatever they want. Like it says, I can't play Pestron 50 anymore, I got bored. Well, it's time to move on. Gotta do a break. Forget about the game for a while.
Slave thing, Skagmaster agrees.
Do some other things. Gotta check out a new perspective or, you know, different stuff.
Technocracy. Scary spawn fools. You're the earth.
This guy would totally mess up the bottle. And Sim City. Is Sim City in trouble? Only if we have penalty here, I think. So who we have available here? We got this rank 7 knowledgeable guy, huh? There'll just be some emergency here. What did I see in this army? I've seen at least 6 Pegasi. 6.
Address me as Cielo.
6 of them, huh? The garrison in this place is solid. We might even need more. But we'll get some more stuff. One turn stuff, really. I think 4 Asian Triads, huh? I should be able to handle Pegasus units. Just some specialists to reinforce the garrison, not in anything straightforward. This is a Glacier Plague. Says the campaign skill sorted. Fuck, we don't have anybody to use Armor of Destiny. Roman has Armor of Destiny, Arcona's Armor of Destiny, Digabor Armor of Destiny. Hekwi. How about Shield Wizard? Connors and Kron. Armor of Fortune, yeah.
Knows who his boss is.
The Plague Priests prefer the Warpstone armor, but Armor of Fortune, Armor of Destiny are all pretty good. And this guy has terrible stats before he gets Skryre Mill rank 16, so he's not supposed to even be fighting. But in case they drop down on him, I guess Charm Shield helps a bit. It's 7 defense and can use an ability to grant damage reduction so he doesn't get wrecked. Rust Cleaver is fine. Some ward save here. There's a Warsome Scroll. Ah, we might actually see it on this guy. Now, considering we might go out,
Don't disappoint me.
I guess we can just use a Regiment of Renown, right? Rattling guns.
You go. Deathmaster agrees.
So much debt. What can Pointiers do against such hate?
Assassin. Sneaks. Machines and then sorcerer.
To battle! New warp forge is here!
Is this guy gonna die to attrition? I guess he's gonna get wounded, he can't really die.
This rat is
Too much auto-resolving has put those guys to low health. But they do have healing items. If we had done the bellows, they'll be all 100% all the time.
Many worse. Paw that strikes. Knows who his boss is. Call me Death Master. Soon kill. I say they move. Many kills.
So where are we expecting an attack here? Massive Oracle, it's still the suicide. 4 Bagbear suicide, Blackstone Post. This is where they can attack. In like Blackstone Post and Karak Zephlin, so I'll keep the guy close to there.
Skryre kill. Move tails.
Now this is where they can actually do something.
Sneaky infiltrator.
We should be sending this one here, the Wood Elves are active. Hey, Scotty. Ingram is all the back, but army is kinda shit. Maybe worth dropping a harassment here.
Kill the scouts.
It's not easy to do though. So let's see who is not active. This place is an absolute nightmare to take with a single army. With an assassin in the area, it can hold against multiple armies.
It's a counter-up. Yes, yes.
Jumped the gun here a bit too soon. Poof, poof. Poof, poof, poof. Poof.
Crypt King.
Oh, this is good. This is good. There might be a hero traffic here. Same in the Pools of Despair. This is not a Tomb King city. So what are we gonna do about Wood Elves?
Vile things.
This is a nightmare against the minor garrison. Absolute nightmare. There's our engineer here. You go home.
Skryre.
Disband him and return home. We'll see about a forest. I'm saying Shidu is gonna take it 4 turns though. Oh, this guy here. I guess it makes sense to be here. All of the chaos will probably gonna destroy most of the shit here. We actually can expand another city this turn.
I refuse.
Thing after Battle for Middle Earth, it's gonna be tough to get any good Lord of the Rings games. I guess they can always make another Battle for Middle Earth, right? But they use the star glow of the movies, right, to make the Battle for Middle Earth great. You know, the people have to forget about or not know about the movies, and then they have to create a new game with completely different voiceovers, voice acting. I mean, music. You can't create a new Lord of the Rings game and then hear different voiceovers, different music, and you're just gonna it's ruined. It's ruined after the movies. So enough time has to pass before they create a new one. Maybe after they release this this show, I think Amazon has been working on the Middle Earth show. Maybe if this becomes hugely popular, within a few years we'll get new Lord of the Rings games, and one of them might be a strategy. because the Lord of the Rings movies, the trilogy, if it's not partially from there, the music and the voiceovers, especially for us old farts that grew up on these movies, they have to do it for the new generation with a new TV show and completely new voiceover and music. I mean, just look at the Lord of the Rings music from trilogy, just like some of the best soundtracks ever recorded, like ever in history. Literally, the sheer epicness out of it. The soundtracks alone, I can just put a soundtrack in the background and do other things, and it's like I'm watching a movie because I've seen it like 10 times. It's literally just from the start to end, you know, it's great music, and the soundtracks just like tell the story on their own. Yeah, I hope if they make new Lord of the Rings stuff, the games, at least they use the music. I mean, it's unrealistic to you know, get all the voice actors, but maybe some. But music. But this is on then living in the past and not moving forward. It's not. Is it really gonna be a new Lord of the Rings game? I don't think so.
For Eshin. Unlock the gates. Yes, yes.
No malice detected.
Maybe remakes / remasters of the Battle for Middle-earth. I guess that's like the best you can hope for the old experience. They'll lose everything in the race element. Oh my god, next thing they're gonna occupy. Bad code.
No time. Experiments to do.
Guys, just a short stream today on very bad hours. I'm kind of getting my schedule a little bit sorted. I've been doing some other stuff. Short streams are good though, especially in between campaigns. The stream will be disconnected in about 12, 13, 14 minutes, and it's probably gonna be it for the day.
My infernal
I'll be doing other stuff for the rest of the day.
Yes, yes.
The next time the stream will be on, probably some more decent hours, close to noon, afternoon, and we'll be playing a new campaign. We have 2 campaigns planned right now, and then we'll probably do a game of Eldar and Gladius. Damn! Wars of Chaos with Historic Kislev. What is this? Warhammer 1? Somebody stop this madman. They have like 0 resistance here. They will start seeing some resistance once they get close to the Dwarves inclination. The Dwarves won't be able to resist, but they'll still destroy a lot of chaos, I think. Inclination will stop them eventually once they turn into Glass Train. Well, if the new Middle Earth TV show, or what they call it, Lord of the Rings or whatever, are obviously using the fame of the Lord of the Rings movies. If it's very good, if it's just like reignites the fires for the this universe again for most people, and not just they leave it to the books now and the old stuff. If it's good, we can probably see a lot more stuff with it, right? They probably might make more movies in different parts of the Middle stories, games. It might be hugely popular again. So I see. A little bit interface glitch, you know. Any movie or TV show that release, if it's quality stuff and was like big production, I'm gonna be interested to see, because I want to see more of that world, more of the stories. I enjoyed the first Hobbit movie, but the second two is like, I even rewatched them once, and when I rewatched them, I literally got bored towards the end of the third one. But seeing them for just once, I think it was good enough. Especially the first one. The first one was good. Which movie had the barrels? That was the second one. When they were getting to the lake town. First one was they had get close to, at the visual of the mountain. The second one was where they got to the lake town. I like the universe, I like the universe, and but they made 3 movies out of it, like, I don't know.
I'll ignore that.
You know what's the worst part of the movie of the 3 Hobbits? What's it called, the third one? The Battle of the 5 Armies. The worst part was the fighting, really. Compared to the Lord of the Rings movies, it looked like some kind of, I don't know. It's like it was a part of a video game, CGI. It didn't look even like a movie. It's almost like it was an intro into a video game. And when the elves jump over the phalanx, oh my fucking god, I died inside a little. Imagine dwarf rushing, like literally rushing, deploying the fastest phalanx in the history. I've ever seen how fast you can deploy a phalanx, and then the elves just jump over them. Fragile elf in worse armor, in basically mosh pit fighting, where the orcs literally have the toughness, and the dwarves they jump over the phalanx into the fighting. Holy fuck, man, that is so bad. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen in any battle on a movie or a show. But you know what makes it worse? When the dwarves really just, when they just rush into the deployed phalanx, it was like such a fast deployment, like zoom, it was deployed. And the elves jump over it. This there, guys, is the main indicator that not enough people play strategy games anymore, or students of war, battles, and tactics. Too many Call of Duty players in the world who is going to love that shit, because the moment the action stops, they're fucking bored. Let's go to the Undercities. The screen will disconnect soon. So these two are fine. You're blowing up here. We need to drop the rest of the buildings next turn.
Sartosa's most infamous.
I mean, when you look at it, they've sent the cavalry into the dark. It's like, what are they supposed to do with all that cavalry? There was not enough room in the castle to fit them all, right? But it was almost as bad. But where would they put all those fighters? The horses and everything. There was no room in the castle, right? This could be explained in a lot of ways, right? But it still looks stupid, right? I mean, that's what the Traki do when they have massive numbers. They try to swarm, but you can't swarm the undead. So I guess we understand it. We understand it from the viewer's perspective, but they don't really fully understand it themselves. Especially not the ones that have seen. You know, like only all the rulers and the ones that were commanding shit seen really the effect of the undead, right? But it was flashy, of course. Flashy more than anything. Sometimes these things might look stupid to a viewer, but when you start thinking down on the ground, among them, it's different. But it still, you know, might look really silly. The reason why the setup for that strategy was used because, you know, sometimes, you know, they know how it's going to end, you know. They can't defeat that army, but they can kill, you know, cut the head of the army, which will destroy the whole army. So they just killed the Vampire Lord and the rest of them just crumbled. Because they know what's gonna happen in the end. They try to, you know, weave that, you know, the whole action parts and this, you know, the sequences, you know, towards that goal, right? Because, you know, it's kind of different what they can do, you know, when they're showing these things and how much they can show, or you can actually read in, you know, in a book.
So dreaded.
Oh yeah, the Oakenshield had inherited his grandfather's gold sickness. So then, you know, this part was a little bit odd, you know, about him. So it's hard to, you know, to go with him after like the first movie. As boys, the router will get disconnected soon, so we're gonna leave it here. Next time online, we'll be playing a new campaign. It'll be tomorrow, not late today, but tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.